Hi, friends. We miss you, we love you, and we just kind of wanted to do an update by video because it was much easier than me trying to come up with the vocabulary to type out a newsletter with everything going on. Um, we just got back to Tulsa a couple weeks ago from Florida, where we were at, and we will be here. Well, our plan originally was to kind of be here until the end of May, and then we were going to be going back to Florida to work in our offices while we fundraise for a boat to go to the Solomon Islands. Whoop, whoop. And so, um, anyhow, so I kind of want to paint the picture of what happened, and so with that, I'm going to start with this. Um, when we got back from Africa, John's parents surprised us with a tiny house in their backyard. And it's 197 square feet. It is the most beautiful, perfect kind of little tiny house. They did a phenomenal job. And it is a shed that they turned to in the inside. When you walk in the door of the tiny house, um, we have our bed, which is a king size bed, on the bottom, and his parents built two little lofts that go up top for the girls to sleep in. And so the one loft on the right, when you walk in, can sleep two girls. It's a little bit wider. And the loft on the left can sleep one girl. And there's a ladder that goes to the loft, a tiny ladder. Um, so on March 23rd, right, I we were all asleep, and around 2 a.m., McKenna asked for some water. And so I was like, okay, I'll get up. And so I got up and I climbed the ladder to see what was wrong because she has a water bottle up there. And as I climbed up to the fifth step, I looked there. We have a gate that locks so nobody falls out of the lofts. And I was looking through the gate, and McKenna already had her water bottle lid off, and she was drinking her water. And I remember her looking so beautiful because she must have gotten hot in the middle of the night, and she took her shirt off, and so her long hair was just covering her chest, and she just looked so beautiful. And she was drinking, and I was like, okay, baby, that's enough water. Why don't you put your lid back on? And that is the last thing that I remember. And so John can kind of tell you his side of the story, how, you know, what happened after I fell off the ladder.
Um, well, McKenna, I don't know if you know McKenna, but she loves horses, everything horses, and she has
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of stuffed animals. And she said it was 2 o'clock in the morning, so it's one of those things like you had moonlight coming in through your windows, you can't really see the well. But I saw a silhouette of what I thought was McKenna's large horse falling down, and the legs are up and the arms are up,
Yeah.
and then the thud was much louder than a horse falling. And when you're kind of sort of sleeping, you're thinking that doesn't sound right, but it looked like it was the horse because like I'm sure if Brandy would have fell, she would have screamed or something would have happened. And so I said Brandy, Brandy, and then I'm kind of shouting her name at that point. I'm like I didn't hear anything, and it's kind of weird. So
Yeah.
I ran over to her and kind of put my hand on. I'm like Brandy, okay? And she didn't respond. So I turned the light on, and her eyes are just rolled in the back of her head, and she didn't respond for close to a minit. And at this
Mm-hmm.
point, I was already talking to 911. As soon as I turned the lights on, I saw her. It was just that immediate. I just always have my phone in my back pocket, so I just pulled it out and called 911. Told Savannah to get Grandma or my mom,
Mm-hmm.
and then an IMSO showed up within exactly like 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
they were there very, very quick. Put her in the seat collar.
So the like he totally when he turned that light on and he saw that my eyes were rolled to the back of my head, he thought I was dead. Like he just was overwhelmed and just immediately thought that because I wasn't responding in the way that I looked, that I had died. And so I guess when he called 911, that's when I first started saying, help me, I can't feel my legs. I don't remember that. What I remember finally is EMSA over top of me, putting the C-collar on. And I just remember looking at them and saying, help me, I can't feel my legs. Like, I knew at that moment that something was really wrong, but I had no idea what had happened. Like, I remember looking at beautiful McKenna drinking her water. So here I am now, like, kind of looking around, and I had no clue what had happened and why I could not feel my legs and why 911 was over top of me. And it was just a moment of, wow, this is happening. And so they took me to the hospital, and I knew that I had to be paralyzed in order for my legs to feel the way that they felt. It's weird that your body knows immediately that there's something wrong and kind of like what it is that's wrong. And so we were so blessed when we got to the hospital. We had a great on-call doctor. She was amazing. And she called they did x-rays, and they found out that I had broken my back in 3 places. I broke T5, T8, and I crushed T12, which severed my spinal cord in half, but not all the way in half. But at the time, they didn't know that. And so the diagnosis was I am completely paralyzed from the stomach down, and I am a paraplegic, and that I'll never walk again. And John immediately was like, we don't receive that. We've got the greatest physician. God is a miracle worker, and we just believe that she's going to walk again because God's going to heal her. And so they also found out that I had a 3-inch skull fracture on my head. It went all the way through to the brain, and they were very worried for a moment about brain damage, brain swelling, and all that stuff. So I got there around 3 a.m. and I was in surgery by 6 a.m., which is a miracle because the doctor rushed there because he knew that if he didn't get the crushed vertebrae off of my spinal cord, that it would continue to do damage, and the chances of me walking would become more and more slim. And so you hear of people not getting surgeries for a day later, hours and hours later, and here I am getting surgery like 3 hours later, which is a miracle and just awesome.
And I just want to kind of explain something too. That the surgeon who worked on her, came in the room, and while we were still waiting on the CAT scan and MRI and X-ray reports, he said, "Well, I don't have any good news for you. She's going to be paralyzed the rest of her life. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. There is no hope." He's like, "You can always hold on to it, but I don't want you to be in denial. There's no hope." Yeah. And then, of course, we were praying this entire time. And before they did the surgery, we went back and prayed over her again. And I kissed her and put my hand on her thigh. And then she said she felt a tingle in her thigh. That was the first sensation that she's had from her stomach down at this point was right before the surgery. Mm-hmm.
And we knew that God was going to take care of us. I don't know. You can't explain that feeling of peace. Like that's not something that you would think would come during a crisis. But when you know your Father, and you know that He is a good Father, and you know that He is not the one that made this happen. This is God protects us. Satan is the only one that comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And he is the only one that we can blame for this. And so, with that, when you know who your Father is and when you know that God is so good, then there's just overwhelming peace. Mm-hmm. That you know that things are going to come out okay. And so I got the surgery. I was in ICU for a few days and, worked my way down to where I am right now. I'm in rehab at the hospital, and I've been here now for a week and a half. So I've been here about a week and a half.
On the rehab floor.
On the rehab floor, and oh my gosh. Things have been moving so fast, and I'm so excited to share that with you. And, every single time a new nurse comes in, they've already looked at my chart you know, and when they come in, they look at me and they say, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because this chart says that you're completely paralyzed and that you should never do some of the things that you're doing right now. You should never feel the legs the way that you're feeling them now. And so it is, every day is a miracle. And, I'm healed and I'm just waiting to walk again. And I know that God is going to, um, He's going to heal me to the point of walking, whether that's instantaneously, like I could walk out of here tomorrow, or, I praise God every single day for every centimeter of my leg that I can feel right now. Because to me, that is glorious when that's not what the doctors are saying should be happening. And so right now, I can feel my left leg on the top all the way down to my knee on the top of my leg. I have feeling. I can't feel on the sides of my leg or on the under half, but I also can feel around my groin on the left leg. On the right leg, I can feel a little bit on the top half of my thigh and around my groin, but I cannot feel my butt. I can't feel my private parts, and I can't feel the rest of my legs going down. But I can feel them tingling, and I feel sensation, which is a good sign of my spinal cord healing. And so there's a lot of swelling going on right now. And so there's a lot of hope that as the swelling goes down, I'll be able to feel more and more of my legs. And then, let's go. What I'm trying to compare is like the natural side of things, but also the supernatural healing of God. Like I'm trying to put those both into a good balance. And so I have moved my legs, not a lot, but a little is some. I actually can move my muscles in my top legs, like I can make them move, which is a huge thing. I've been able to move by both of my legs. If you hold them out straight, I can move them back towards my body, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually moved my right leg, which is my weaker leg. I actually moved it from the bed, laying down. I moved it towards me, which is huge. I mean, a smidgen, but everything is a progress.
Right.
And we praise God every day. And so the next thing is going to the bathroom. I'm not supposed to be able to go to the bathroom on my own. I can't feel anything, but I can feel when I need to go, and I can hold it. So they took the catheter out on Monday. Today is Thursday, April 7th. And I peed right away on my own. I have been peeing and pooping every single day on my own. It hurts. That is a huge prayer request right now, an immediate prayer request right now, is that I'm able to go to the bathroom with more ease, because since I can't feel how to push it out, I have to like just bear down like you're in childbirth to be able to push that out. And so we're just really praying for that to be easier. And so that's one prayer request.
And I just want to say something too, is that the doctor that she has in the rehab floor broke his lower back when he was in college and changed his degree over to physical therapy. And he said that he also married the person he married was a physical therapist. And so when he's getting all this, probably bonus time in physical therapy, and it took him a year and a half to do what Brandy just did.
Yeah. So the doctors were in complete shock that happened. They were like, wow.
And we bumped into the surgeon when we were on our date night yesterday.
To the cafeteria.
The cafeteria. And the doctor, the neurologist that worked on Brandy said that that's impossible. She's like, you're not supposed to do that. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a faith-based statement. It wasn't a, well, that's really cool. It was a, that's physically impossible. Like, you can't do that. And then she like knocked on the wall or whatever that was beside her.
Yeah. So it is a miracle that I'm peeing right now. So we see God working every single day to help me get to where I'm at. And it's just going to keep being like that. And so I'm trying to find the right words with, obviously I'm exhausted, and I'm still having a lot of pain, and pain management is a big request. I was just I have good days and I have bad days with pain, and last night was a pretty rough night, and so the girls just started school. As you know, I've been homeschooling. We've been using the same curriculum as a Christian school that's here in town. It's called Bob Jones University. And so we were able to, we called Victory Christian School where the girls used to go. And we just told them what was going on. And they got a free scholarship to finish out the school year for all 3 girls to go to Victory. And they also blessed us with 2 bags of clothes for uniforms for the girls to wear. So the girls started school 2 days ago. Today will be their 3rd day, and they are stoked. Like, they are so excited to go to school. They love it. Savannah actually got to see her best friend that she hasn't seen in a couple years. And we'll put pictures on our newsletter to show you kind of some of these cute little things that we're talking about. But she just came home like cheese and the biggest smile. And it's really good for them to be in school right now. Oh, John's going to show you. There they are.
That's in my car right on the way home.
And so, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
They saw what happened to me. They were there when it happened. They were looking down over the lofts. And so this is good for them to be in Victory, to have time to be kids.
Right.
Savannah
friends.
is a little mommy, so she wants to be here with me. And John's with me all the time. My mom came in from Florida, my brother, and they're helping with the girls and also John's parents, and that's been a huge blessing. We've had people bring in food for us, and that's been a huge blessing. And then maybe you can see here, that way, you'll see all my cards that I've been getting in the mail. Oh my goodness. Thank you, everybody who has sent, some encouragement. Look at all those cards. There's so many of them over there. And there's nothing else. That's it.
All the foods and snacks and candies that people brought.
Yeah, all the food, snacks, and candies.
Teddy bears.
So we just want to say thank you. That encouragement is needed every single day. We're full of joy. I mean, Satan can't steal those things from you. He can't steal your joy. He can't steal God's glory. And so, every day we are just filled with God's joy, love, and we've been ministering to everybody who comes into our room. We've been ministering to every single nurse. One of our friends was healed. They came and we prayed over her, and she walked out of here pain-free.
Yeah.
And she had osteoarthritis. And so God has just been showing up every single day mightily with his healing power. And though it's not an instant right this second, that doesn't mean that it's not going to be tomorrow. But he's showing up in everything and just wowing the doctors constantly. And everybody knows that I love God so much. And he is my best friend. And so I just want to thank you guys for praying for me, for loving on me, supporting us. This isn't stopping us. We're still going to the nations no matter what. And hopefully I can walk by then. That is what,
Yeah.
I'm going to walk.
That's right.
And if it's longer, then we'll get some, big tires on my wheelchair and
Solar-powered engine.
and go. And so I just want to let you know that that's there. It's not changing. Nothing's taking from what's going to happen, with us with working for Overland Missions and going to the nations. So if you had any thoughts of that, I just wanted to give you that answer right now. It's not stopping us. So another prayer is I wanted to tell you one more miracle. I'm sorry, this is a very long video, but I thought it was important to just do it this way versus a way of you reading it. But I didn't have insurance when I showed up to the hospital, and obviously the hospital will treat you, but I couldn't get into rehab without insurance. And 2 or 3 days after we were in the hospital, I was still in ICU, and some guy comes in and he goes, I want to be your personal advocate for insurance. And we're like, okay. He got us signed up for Sooner Care, which is the state insurance, within 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it is one of the best insurances that you can have. We don't have to pay anything. I'm in rehab. I have insurance. And it is a miracle that I have insurance right now. And with that, we don't have an income. You cannot have an income when you're on this insurance. It's very low, like maybe $1,000 you can have coming in. So at this point, all the funds that are going to be going into overland missions, we will not be taking out right now at all for anything, because we're subcontractors until we're fully funded, and then we become employees. And so we feel blessed that we weren't employees yet, because, we wouldn't be able to stop the funds.
We weren't getting the insurance at all.
So we have had multiple people come and bring, $10, $300, and that's going to be able to pay for our food and, just basic bills while we're still in the States. And so I just wanted to say thank you all for everybody who has given us cash. That has been a big blessing, because we know that God's going to provide. And the first thing that our pastor told us was not to worry about finances. They'll come in. And so I just wanted to say thank you for those who have seen our need and have just donated money to us instead of Overland. And please don't stop your payments from going in. Those are a blessing. They'll just be there when we are past this that's going on. And so I just wanted to say thank you. We love you guys so much. I don't want to get emotional, but knowing that you guys are praying and believing in me is awesome, because you need that. You need the encouragement. Please send scriptures. Please send, your prayer requests. Please send what's on your heart. Share what's on your heart about what God's saying to you. If you go into prayer for John and I and for the family, if there's something that God lays on your heart, please share it with us. If there's a scripture that comes to your mind when you're thinking of us, once again, please share it with us. We love you. Check out our website, kitefamilymissions.com. There's places where you can put prayer requests and prayer needs. And just if you want to talk to us, you can message us on there. And I'm pretty sure our phone numbers are listed on our website. If not, you can call John's number. It's 918-260-9099. We love you guys.
All right, love you.
Bye.